What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Bay Area collector, and today I'm bringing you my July and August 2020 video game haul. Now, between July and August, I picked up a ton of stuff. Mostly in July. August was a little bit slow. However, I actually found some really cool things. But anyways, as always, I'm going to begin with the digital downloads. Picked up a couple of digital downloads for the Xbox One. First game I picked up was Omen Sight. I picked it together with Stories Path of Destinies. That came as a 2-in-1 pack that I bought when I downloaded it. Next game I got was Impact Winter and the Coma Recut. These two games I bought on eBay as digital codes because they were cheaper online rather than buying them from the Xbox One store. I also picked up Riddle Corpses EX. Another game that I got online that I got the digital code really cheap. Next game I picked up was Peggle 2. It's actually an Xbox 360 digital code. However, I got it for super cheap. I also bought Into the Belly of the Beast. This one's very interesting. It's like it's an adventure game where you are this little tiny amoeba creature thing that this beast ate your kids, so you're trying to rescue them. Yeah, really interesting. Then another one seems like a little platformer called Dreamall's Dream Quest. I also picked that one up digitally online at eBay, as well as this one. I forgot the name of it. It's a slasher. Anyways, since it's in Japanese, I will give you the name once I get back to the Nintendo Switch downloads that I bought, and I'll let you know. So I will be back in a minute. What is up, everybody? So I'm back again. So that game for the Xbox One that I didn't know that was in Japanese, the actual game's name is Mitsurugi Kamui Hikai. That's actually like a hack and slash action game for the Xbox One. I believe it's in English. I don't know if it's a Japanese game or not, but anyways, moving right along, I went overkill between, well, it was, most of these were purchased in July, where all the Switch downloads, I bought a ton of them in the mix for my son and myself. So let's get started because there's a lot to cover. So anyways, first things first game I got was Code Shifter. That game's actually like I believe it's an action RPG or something. I'm not sure. The next one is Apocalypses. It's actually an adventure game. Looked pretty cool because it had very neat drawings, art. The graphics were really good, and it looked like an interesting story. Next one is a game called Debtor. I believe that one's a platformer. Next game is like an action adventure game called Feudal Alloy. I believe this is like a mini Metroidvania. I'm not sure. It's been a long time when I bought them. Coffee Crisis. This is a platformer, I believe. Get Me Out of Here. This is another platformer. Free Cell Solitaire Deluxe. I love Solitaire, so it's a solitaire game. I believe it was free at the time. When I purchased this. Ooh, this one's another one that caught my eye. I originally saw this on the Xbox One. I was gonna get it for the Xbox One, but then I got it for the Switch because it was the same price. And it's a little Metroidvania style platformer adventure game called Radio Squid. Really interesting game. It looked very interesting. Next game is Out of the Box. I believe this is like a bunch of mini games. It was free. I believe this one was free. Then the next one, I got this one for my kid, is Bubble Cat's Rescue. I believe he has this one on his iPad, and it's one of those puzzle bubble type of clones. Really fun game on the iPad when I played it. Next one is Aborigines. This was an actual 2D side-scrolling platformer. I began playing it. Really interesting game. I believe this is like I want to say it's an Aborigine person or someone who lost his girlfriend, or they kidnapped his girlfriend, so he's trying to get her back. It's a pretty fun game. Another one is A Gummy's Life. Gosh, I don't know what I don't know what this game's about, to be honest with you guys. I think this is one of my son's games. I believe this is kind of like kind of like a battle royale game with little gummies and little food characters. You'll see another game that's similar to it in a little bit. Gigantic Army. This is actually a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Very interesting. Is like a mech platformer. Looks very cool. This one is Startide. My God, I forgot what this is about. Anyways, Eternal Blade. This is God, I forgot what this was about. Please forgive me if you guys know what some of these games are about. Please feel free to comment below. I got these a while back. I've been through a lot right now that my brain's so Swiss cheese right now that I forgot, and I have maybe making mistakes. So anyways, this one, Human Fall Flat. Ooh, this is one of the games I'm actually playing right now. My son, I believe he saw this. He watches FGTV. I don't know if you guys are familiar with FGTV, some gamer dad or FGTV daddy, duddy or whatever. Really, it's a really cool channel. He's a big fan of them. He was playing this game. I guess he watched one of his videos a while back, a few weeks ago. He watched one of his videos where he was playing this game. Hilarious, but it's a really fun platformer. Highly recommend it. It's actually pretty cool. Controls tend to be a little bit funny at first, but then they're easygoing. Next one is Spheroids. I believe this is like an arcade platformer. I forgot. I don't know. Mad Carnage. I want to say this is like it reminded me a lot of Mad Max, so that's why I got it. It was really cheap. I remember getting it for really cheap, so I picked it up. I really don't know what this is about. 99 Vidas. This is an actual platformer, platforming game, or like an arcade action platformer. Seemed pretty interesting. Next game I got was Sinless. Jeez, man. God damn. I don't know what this is about. So, I forgot what this game was about. I think it's a platformer. But I know what this game's about because my son was playing it earlier today. And it's called Bridge Strike. It's a shooter. And it's a really fun one. But anyways, those are my Nintendo Switch download games that I got for the month. Mostly for the month of July. I didn't get these, like in August, I haven't bought any download content. I've been kind of slow on the games this month, believe it or not. Still got a couple of games that are supposed to come by, but they're probably going to be covered for September. Anyways, moving right along, physical games that I got. Now, a few months back, around when COVID started, around March, I remember telling you guys that I bought a bunch of Japanese games. I bought like 5 Japanese games. And they never arrived, and I got my money back, and I was disappointed because some of those games were really fun platformers. However, fast forward to July, mysteriously I ended up getting a package in the mail, and it was the games. I got them here. So the guy had told me that I bought them from Japan, told me if I ever got them to go ahead and, if I could please pay them. And I said, yeah, I'm not going to take them or anything. So I contacted the guy like a couple of times. And as of right now, he hasn't responded to me. They weren't expensive. They were rather cheap. But if he does respond to me in the future and says, hey, you owe me the money, I'll pay it off. I have no problem with it. But as of now, he hasn't responded. But anyways, one of those games is, now, please forgive me. I'm looking at my notes here because the Japanese names, I know what they are, but I forget their names. This one right here is Magical Taruro Turo 2 for the Famicom. Really fun game. Part 1 was really fun. Maybe I'll make a little mini video of part 1. It's a very good game, y'all. You guys should check. These games are fun. I originally was introduced to this series through the Genesis, but and those games are fun. The other game was ooh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I know this one is, let me see if I remember the name. I think this is Peach Boy Legend Momotaro Densetsu. This is an RPG game, and I have an English patch for it. So, yeah, and it looked pretty interesting. The other one, this one right here, is Portopia Renzoku Satsujin Jikun. This is actually a point-and-click adventure story. There's also a patch for it, an English patch. And then the next one, this one's easy. This is SD Gundam Legend Knight Gundam Story. Night Gundam Story for the Famicom. I believe this is an RPG or an action game. I'm not sure. But anyways, really looked like a really interesting game from the SD Gundam series. And then so then this one is actually gonna be Akuma-kun. I don't know what. I know this is a platformer. You know, I may do a video if I find out what this game's about, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was like a really cool platformer. That, you know, a really cool Famicom platformer, but, you know, I kind of forgot what it's about. So anyways, moving right along, we got a lot to cover. I also bought a PS Vita game, Mind Zero, for the PS Vita. It's a text adventure game. I love those games. The next game I got for the Wii U to add to that collection, because as you guys know, I'm trying to get the full library of US games, Angry Birds Trilogy. Got that one. For the Xbox 360, I got Record of Agarest War Zero. This is a strategy RPG for the Xbox 360. I've heard of these before in the past. Very interesting game. Next game, this one I got for my son. Well, my parents bought this one for my son a while back. Really fun game. It's a PS1 remake, and it's on SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Really fun game. I never played the PlayStation 1 version of it. It's actually, you can say it's kind of like a 3D platformer Metroidvania. So it's a really fun game. I've gotten, you know, you have to collect like these golden spatulas or something to save Mr. Krabs' shop or whatever. I don't know what it is. Forgot the story, but it's a really fun game, and got a few levels into this game. Next one is Batman Arkham City Armored Edition for the Wii U. These are really interesting games. I played the Arkham Asylum game on the PS3. Really fun game. Next game, Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark for the Wii U. Again, collecting for the Wii U. Really cool. Well, people are saying it's kind of iffy. Looks pretty interesting to me, so I'll see how it is when I give it a shot. This one, because I have the PS Vita version of it, I wanted to get the part 2, but I got it for the PS3, is The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 2. When I bought this game, it was advertised as part 1, and they had it for a rather cheap price. So I kind of saw that it was part 2, made sure that it was part 2, and I got it. So really interesting. I like those games. Another Wii U game that was kind of like an iffy game that I kept leaving behind, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse for the Wii U. Oh man, I know that there was Canvas Course. I believe this was for the DS. I didn't really like it because of the stylus. You have to control Kirby with a stylus. But we'll see with the Wii U. Maybe it's a little bit different, you know, better reactive instead of the DS. So we'll check this one out. This is another RPG for the PS3 that I got, Persona 5, brand new. I love Persona. However, like Pokemon games, I always make it into the games and I never pass them. But I like this series though. Next game, another game that I let go, regretted it, but I fortunately got it for cheaper, was Star Ocean: The Last Hope International. This is a pretty interesting game. I like the Star Ocean game on the PS1. I had it for the PS2 and I kind of couldn't pass it. I let go of it, and you know, I decided to get the PS3 one. See how it goes. Now this one I got because I was gonna buy this as a Saturn game. Oh, as you guys know, by the way, I'm not covering Saturn games that I bought because I already did that in the last video. However, I do have some newer Saturn games that I got, but then I'll explain something that's going on with that as well. Same thing with the Vita. Anyways, going back to this, I was gonna get Feta, the Emblem of Justice. I got this for the Super Famicom or the SNES. Oops. Got it with instructions and everything for a really cheap price in the case. Now I was gonna get this for the Saturn, and it was gonna be like a remake of the game. And I'm like, why am I gonna get that when I could just get the Super Famicom version? And there's a patch for it that's in English, so I could play it. As basically a strategy game. Now this one I bought because it was pretty cheap online, and this is Lichdom Battle Mage. It's a shooter, first-person shooter. for the Xbox One. Look pretty interesting. It's like one of those budget games. Really good. Now this little set of games, this is like my last set of July games. I received these games when my daughter was born. We kind of did like a little gift exchange, kind of like quote unquote, you know, for my son to, you know, to kind of boost him up, because I know we have the new baby now, and I don't want my son to feel kind of left out. He hasn't felt left out or anything, but we did that to just, you know, make sure that he was feeling good, because we have a new baby, we have a new kid, but we gave each other gifts to everybody. So I gave some gifts. I give some gifts to my girlfriend, to my son, and then they gave me some gifts. It was quote unquote coming from the baby. I know it's kind of like a, I know it was kind of like weird, but we did it, you know, just kind of like a fun thing. And so I guess my daughter got me Lemmings for the PSP. I love Lemmings. This is a really fun platformer. Brand new. Got this one. Another game. Now this one's weird, you guys. It's called Invisimals El Reino Escondido, which translates to the Hidden Kingdom. Solo para el PlayStation 3. I don't know if this is, I guess this is the PAL version of it, because it's in Spanish or something. But I know there's an English version of it, but you could play it in English. So hopefully this works on my PS3, because I don't have it modded or anything. But it looked like an interesting game. Looks pretty interesting, but it's in Spanish. If it's in Spanish, I don't care. I know how to read and write Spanish, so it don't matter to me. You know, I can still read it. Next one, this one, I didn't know it existed until I saw it, and it's a remake of a PSP game, and that's Final Fantasy Type O HD for the Xbox One. Looked very interesting. When I saw it, I was like, ooh. You know, I don't know much about this one. I think this is coming from the Final Fantasy, not the Final Fantasy Chronicles, but there was a series that was made for the PSP. Gosh, I forgot, you guys. But anyways, it's like, you know, interesting to get. So I don't mind. I love Final Fantasy, so why not? And then the last game for July, Xbox 360. This one I was kind of happy to get because I'm collecting these games. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes for the Xbox 360. Looks really cool. You know, I haven't really tried any of the new Metal Gear games after the PS1 or the PlayStation 1. So I'm hoping that these are good. And I know that there's some, I have a bunch of them for the PS3 and PS2. So I'm looking forward to have these, you know, to have the collection up to Metal Gear Solid 5. Anyways, that is the collection for July. Now moving on, a couple of things between July and August. I got myself, yeah, you guys are gonna be like, what? Got myself a PS Vita, an actual PS Vita 1000, but it's hacked with Henkaku, and now it's like super cool. I love it. I love it. Bought it already, modded. But I spent a week, you know, slowly adding the things that I wanted to add to the system, and now it's at my liking. For a while I was afraid because I'm actually, the game that I'm really playing right now, you guys, is East 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. I'm actually playing that game right now. It's really fun, you guys. Once I'm done with that game, I'm definitely considering of doing a video about that game. Love that game so far. Is one of my favorite Final Fantasy favorite Ys games. You know, I played every single one and I love it. I love it. I'm having fun playing it slowly but surely. It's a long game, but I'm playing it. You know, I was able to mod it. I was able to transfer my saves, so it was really cool. Got that. And then another thing that's gonna change the landscape of my Sega Saturn is that I bought an Action Replay, another Action Replay Plus card, but this one is it's actually formatted to have the Saturn Kai, so you can play burnt copies of games. So now moving forward, I can play burnt copies of Saturn games. That's the only way you can play them at the moment, unless you do this swap trick that you can mess up your system really bad. So no, I'm not gonna mess up my system, so I got another card anyways. And I bought one that was already flashed. I could have done it myself, but I didn't feel like doing it. So now moving forward, I don't think I'm probably gonna buy Saturn games because the games are super expensive. So with that being said, speaking of Saturn games, moving on to August, since I had bought that thing already, I had bought these couple of Saturn games. One of them is Arcana Strikes for the Sega Saturn, Japanese. It's a card game. Looked very, very interesting when I saw a video of it. The story, you know, the graphics, the gameplay looked very cool, so I decided to pick it up. Another one that I got, and I have it for the PS1, but I love that game to death. It's one of my favorite shooters. It's Super Dimensional Fortress Macross, and I believe this is the one that Do You Remember Love, which is the same as the PS1. I got it. Instructions complete. Even if, you know, I can play burnt games now, I still wanted a copy of this. So yes. Another game I got for the Saturn is Scud, the Disposable Assassin. I want to say that this is a platformer. I'm not sure. This is it looked like a 2D side-scrolling platformer. I'm not sure what it is, but it looked pretty interesting, and from looking at the videos, it looked like an interesting story. Now, this weekend I went to... Well, before I do that, another game I got was for the Saturn, Siberia. Now, this is an action-adventure game that I got. I was always interested in it. It looked very interesting to me, so I picked it up. So, yeah. Before I get on to the last games... This one, you guys, since if you guys saw my last video, I mentioned that one of my favorite of all time Saturn games, or if not one of my favorite games of all time ever, is Magic Knight Rayearth. Now, Magic Knight Rayearth for the Saturn is freaking expensive. It's $1,000 plus game. Unless you find a deal, you can get it from several $100s incomplete to more than $1,000 complete. So I decided to pick up the Japanese version of it, of Magic Knight Rayearth, and this is like the collector's edition Japanese version of it. I believe this is like an art book, came with like a bunch of stuff, you know, for the game, and I love Magic Knight Rayearth. I used to own the US Saturn game. As many of you know, that was like the last US release Saturn game. But I read the differences between the Japanese and Saturn. I mean, the Japanese and the US version, and there are some differences that Working Designs made for that game, but it's not that many. For, you know, and I started, funny because I started testing, when I tested the chip that you can play the burnt copies of games. I had a burnt copy game, as you guys saw in the video, of Magic Knight Rayearth, and it worked flawlessly. And I was playing it, my son caught his eye. He was with me playing it, and then soon after, my girlfriend, because she knows about the anime, she started watching me play it for a little bit. So it's a game that it caught everybody's eye. So I'm happy to own at least the Japanese version. Definitely, if the US version becomes available in the future, I am definitely picking it up. Depending on the price, though, I don't want to fork out a lot of money. Moving right along, the last couple of games that I got. This weekend I actually went to Best Buy and GameStop. One that I got at GameStop was this one, the Galaxy, the Void, and Skulls of the Shogun Bonafide Edition Platinum Pack 2-in-1 game. Did not pay $19.99. I actually paid $9 for it. I had a coupon, and then because it was that stupid new but open copy, told the guy, you know, that I wasn't too happy, and he actually gave me a discount. Got it for $9.99. Good deal. Next one I got, now these games I bought at Best Buy. These, one of them was a game that also my parents got my son this month. I wasn't too happy because that game's expensive, but we were playing it today and it's pretty fun. It's Super Mario Party. Really fun game. I'm not into these party games, like whatever. My son has been playing the hell out of it right now. But it was fun. Next game I got for myself is AI Day 1 edition of the AI the Somnium Files, which is a action. It's an adventure text game. Looked very interesting when I read about it. picked it up at Best Buy. Really caught my eye. And then the other one, now this one, when I bought that one game, this one at GameStop, this one caught my eye for the Xbox One, but I let it go. Then when I went to Best Buy, I was about to leave when I caught it, and it was like $12, and this says My Time at Portia. It looks kind of like a Animal Crossing style game, because you do a bunch of things. You meet people, you farm, you do interesting things. For some reason it caught my eye, so I picked it up, and it was only $12 for the Switch. So I love collecting for the Switch. So yeah, so anyways, you guys, this is my haul for July and August. If you guys stuck around this long for the video, I truly appreciate it. I know I'm not quite back yet. Slowly but surely I'm doing it. I'm gonna start preparing a couple of videos, especially those, like, I know a lot of people like those videos, those rare and unseen games where I do a couple of minutes, only like 5, those short videos. I'm gonna try to make those because those are easier for me to make, being that I can use my phone, I can use something and record myself playing it much quicker than doing something like this. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I truly appreciate you guys being there. I know I've been out. I've been busy with my kid. I gotta thank my girlfriend for giving me the opportunity to do this long video. I know she's right now, it's late in the night. You know, she's probably taking care of my kid. So I better go out there and help out. Anyways, thanks you guys for watching. So much for your support, for you guys sticking around, and I will see you next time. Again, this is Erik the Bear Collector. Peace out.